Hello and welcome. We'll be getting started in just a few moments, but we are thrilled you're here. So come on in and join us in chat if you'd like to. It's always optional, but we love to get the conversation going there. If we're meeting for the first time, my name is Jamie Novak, and I'm the author of multiple books on organizing. I color coordinated with my book today, and the newest one is Keep This, Toss That, written in checklist format for each area and area of your home. And so a lot of our content actually comes from the book, so you can certainly follow along if you have a copy, check it out of the library, or of course, wherever books are available. So this is a webinar format because we have so many awesome attendees tuning in. It tends to work better as a webinar format, which means you can see me, I hope, if technology is working well, but I cannot see you. So just, in that way, chat's open. And if you wanted to ask a question, there should also be a Q&A button. I will notice the question in the Q&A before I'll be able to catch it in chat. And that's just because the chat goes by so quickly, there's a good chance I would miss it. And of course, if you tend to sort of categorize yourself as a procrastinator, then I think you'll get a lot of benefit out of our time together tonight. So let's jump in. We don't want to procrastinate. Let's not wait. Let's dive right in during our time together. And we are together for an hour. So please stay as long as you can. If you need to come late, if you need to leave early, if you need to leave in the middle and log back on, the more you're here, the happier we'll be. We'll share some secrets to success, spots that we can focus in on for May, resources all along the way, moments where I stop talking and set a timer and invite you to join us if that's available to you, and of course, a Q&A. So let's get started. And I'm going to invite you to consider taking a before photo, snapping a before photo. Now, this may sound like something you would never do, or you might do it, but you would never share it. And that's absolutely fine. This truly is for your, your viewing only. It's not meant for anyone else. It truly is meant just for you. So hopefully this could be a new strategy for you and you could go ahead and give it a go. The idea is that the before photo shows you what it looks like before you get started. So if it's a spare room, if it's a tabletop, if it's a countertop, if it's a few different areas in your space, if it's a closet, that before photo, as you're working, you can then consult it to see, oh my gosh, I've been working for an hour and I don't think anything's different. And then, oh wow, you know what? Things are different. I absolutely can see now that there was a whole bunch of stuff piled in a corner and I went through and boxed up all those returns and no, those returns are gone. And I forgot about those. So I would have thought, nothing much changed, which really doesn't get us excited and keep that motivation high. But when we look at that before photo and go, oh my gosh, I forgot that the pile was this taller. There was that much stuff. And then you're like, this is really working. I'm really doing it. There can be a lot of motivation to keep going with the idea of snapping a before photo. The other thing with the before photo is sometimes just to our eye, we don't notice things. And when you look at it in a photo, you're like, whoa, wait, is that really there? I kind of just became almost like clutter blind to it. That's a term that sometimes we'll use in the organizing industry, and you just don't even see it. It's like someone could walk past luggage that hasn't been unpacked and not even know it's there. And then you're like, oh, wait, that's right. That luggage has been hanging out there a while, waiting for me. So if you find that you've got a lot of things waiting for you around your home, let's get into some ideas for how we can get started. And of course, snapping a before photo is highly suggested. If you've joined me for a declutter club in the past, then you know how much I love starting a timer and inviting you to work by a little game of racing the clock. Can I do something, a small task? Can I accomplish it before the buzzer goes off? So you can set a timer on your phone. You can use a timed moment like a commercial break from a television show, or while you're waiting for the oven to beep, letting you know it's preheated and ready for dinner. So racing the clock is one strategy to overcome procrastination. It's the idea of you're giving yourself a limited window of time and then challenging yourself. So turning a boring chore into a challenge. What can I do before the buzzer goes off? This can be highly motivating to some of us. It mostly depends on our personality, but also maybe the category of things that we're doing. So if you're like, but I need to clear out an entire clothes closet, I can't set a timer for just 10 minutes and I won't even begin before the timer goes off. So sure, for certain projects, certain days, certain times, certain people tuned in today, this may not be the best strategy. However, if you've never tried it, we'll have an opportunity to give it a go during our presentation this evening. Sort of a companion idea to that, or almost maybe an opposite idea to that, and that's the idea of setting a stopwatch. So for those of us that would sort of freeze or our minds would go blank if we had a limited window of time, for example, think about playing a board game or like a game of Jeopardy, and you're like, you know all the answers, and then the clock starts ticking and we forget all the answers. So if that feels like that might be you when you're trying to race the clock, then setting a stopwatch might be a different feeling. And that is, again, with the clock app on your phone for most of us, or some random stopwatch on a lanyard in your kitchen junk drawer that I don't know why you have it, and you might not know either, but you may own a stopwatch. We can just click that little start button and go. So instead of trying to beat the clock before the buzzer goes off, you're just staying focused and then imagine, how long is this going to take me? And then just, oh, surprise, I thought it was going to take 30 minutes. It only took 20 minutes. Or I thought it was going to take 30, it took 40. But because the timer is going, we're more likely to stay focused, less likely to get distracted or sidetracked. We usually make quicker decisions because there's a timer ticking down in the background. So if you tend to find yourself procrastinating, starting a clock, an alarm, a stopwatch, using time in some way can get us going. Another way to use these timed moments is by setting reminders. Maybe 10 o'clock every Tuesday, your schedule is a little bit more open. Set an alarm for 10 o'clock on Tuesdays as your reminder. Oh, it's 10 o'clock on Tuesday. I toss 10 things. And so it can just become part of your daily or weekly routine. I see so many of you jumping in the chat and saying hello, and others of you are seeing friends that you haven't seen since last month, and our Declutter Club just keeps growing. So thank you for inviting others, friends, family, coworkers, neighbors, and our community just continues to grow, and what an awesome, supportive community we're building, and you're a part of that, so thank you. We are thinking about using time in different ways. We'll look at a few other ways to use time during our program. But if you are also maybe sharing your home with someone and one of you is trying to inspire the other one, and I'm not sure which is which, but possibly there's someone trying to inspire someone else to maybe pare down, simplify, straighten up, donate items. This can be, if you find there's a little competition in that relationship, it might work beautifully to say, you know, maybe you have younger children or a partner, a friend, someone's sharing your space with you, to say, let's set a timer for 10 minutes, put 10 things in this bag to donate, and then we'll have dinner, go for a walk, watch a movie, have an ice cream sundae, whatever that looks like for you. So using time as a way of overcoming procrastination can be a lovely strategy that truly does work. So I'm wondering if at the start of the new month, maybe you are looking over May and thinking about different recipes you'd like to prepare. If you're like me, you clip out a bunch of recipes and then never make them. Maybe you've wanted to check a book out of the library, like a cookbook that you just saw on a morning talk show. So if you have some clipped recipes, some collected recipes, a shoebox of recipes, shoe boxes of recipes, cookbooks, and other things, this could be a lovely moment to either maybe find some cookbooks to donate if you're not using them, or bring out a recipe, add the ingredients you'll need to your shopping list, and then make something new. Otherwise, why are we keeping the cookbooks and the recipe cards? So this is an invitation for anyone that's feeling like you want to change up maybe your monthly meal plan and add something a little new and unique. So that is an area to work on. And if you'd like to join us, we're going to begin now. This is optional. So if you're just like, oh, I didn't know I had to do anything, I thought I was just going to sit and listen, you can. That's absolutely great. I'm glad you're here. If, however, you're just feeling that little spark of inspiration and you're like, well, if everyone else is doing it, I guess I'll do it too. I'm going to start a timer and it's just going to be 3 quick minutes on the timer. So it's not a race. Don't run and never get up on a step stool. We always want to keep you safe. But if you can move away from our presentation in whatever way works for you, if it works for you, please do move away for 3 minutes. And you might look for a cookbook to donate or a recipe you want to make and look into see if you have the ingredients. Shopping at home first is a great way to save money and also use stuff up before you have to discard it and stay clutter free. So if you'd like to look and see which ingredients you have to make the meal, that would be fantastic too. So we will put a 3-minute timer up on the screen. And again, it's no race, so take your time. We want you to be safe. But if you'd like to join us, please do. Now, if this particular strategy of recipes or cookbooks just doesn't feel right for any reason, then if your phone is in your hand, you can delete some emails. You could work on a pile of something that's closer to you if my suggested project isn't quite right for you. So if you'd like to begin, we'll get started in 3, 2, 1, and go. When we come back, jump in the chat and let us know what you worked. Final 22 seconds. And congratulations, we have completed our first 3-minute moment. Sometimes they're longer, sometimes they're shorter, but there's always at least one moment during our time together where you get to move away and practice a little tidying up with us. The good news is you can never really do it wrong. I guess what wouldn't be as great is if you just pulled a bunch of stuff out and didn't go through it and just said, oh, I'll do it later. But if you can make some decisions in the moment, we love it. And then, of course, like Kimberly, we come back and we say what we did. Again, totally optional. But here we go. Ms. M. Cook worked on those emails and Kimberly found 6 cookbooks to donate, which is amazing. So we always love to see your wins. Please do share. It's always optional, but boy, it's inspiring. So thank you so much for jumping in the chat if it's available. Whether or not you put it in the chat, whether or not you say it out loud, it still counts. It's a win, and we are celebrating you. Martha got those eyeglasses cleaned. That's a big one, and a little tidy on the desk. Started getting those emails out, said Madeline. Oh, yeah. Oh, purse for Mandy. That was a big one for me today. I found almost $10 in my purse today. Barbara's got a mini accomplishment. Woohoo! Yes. And the music, and Barbara's calling out one of those tips in the chat as she shared, dancing to the music. So when we talk about using a timed moment, play your favorite song, play a soundtrack, play your song back to back, using the time as when the music starts, I go. And so that's your overcoming procrastination, but also I work for the length of the time of the song and hopefully energize doing it. So I love it. Oh my gosh, Esther found her rock collection. I have a rock collection too. Oh, I'd be so sad if it was missing. Maybe you didn't know it was missing, but I'm so glad you found it. Folded laundry, ready to get put away, said Carla. I love this. Doing a little seasonal swap from home. So we're going to talk more about that. So long, magazines, Ellen says. Joseph searched ingredients for a recipe to make this weekend. I love it. Found recipes to try. Perfect, as I've been uninspired for what to make for dinner, says Julie. Inbox, bye-bye, Rita. And continued working on a drawer I started earlier, says Joseph. I mean, what a wide variety of wins in so many different categories. I'm impressed. I'm inspired, and you've inspired us. This is manageable. And let's remember, that was 3 short minutes. What would change in your life, in your home, in your apartment, if you worked for 10 minutes a day on one particular area? What would that look like? I'm thinking some things would change, and you'd really start to feel like I'm making a difference. I'm making lasting progress. And that's what I hope for you. When we talk about recipes and maybe feeling uninspired for meals, I certainly understand that. And I do want to share with you one of my favorite places to find recipes. So I'll give it to you now. And I just want to let you know there's a unique spelling. So just before you write it down, I'll share it with you. And it's copycat.com, but cat is spelled with a K. So it's copy, COPY. I'll pop it in the chat for you. KAT, copycat.com. And this is the website where they list chain restaurant recipes from across the country. So if you're like, how did they make that chicken? What's in the shrimp dish? What's in the salad dressing? How do they make the biscuits? So there you go. And Suzanne checked in with making piles neater, which sometimes that's really what it's all about. Sometimes we're making decisions about things to donate. Sometimes we're simply organizing or straightening. Sometimes we're taking inventory. I'm going to need to wrap some gifts. Well, maybe I should check my gift wrap to see what I have in stock. So Joe is so on point. Thank you so much, Joe, for popping that link in there. He's so quick with the technology. I really appreciate it. And yep, so here we go. All right, we are celebrating those wins. Now we're thinking about spring cleaning for May. And I just want to remind you, broken, unnecessary cleaning supplies and not so useful organizing solutions are just taking up space in your home, and they are cluttery. So pet shelters may want your extra cleaning products, cleaning solutions, laundry supplies, pillows, linens, patio chair cushions that even if they're not in the best condition, a puppy that's probably gonna, bite on it anyway, it'll keep them comfy in a cold metal cage. So if you have a local pet shelter that you could support by maybe donating some of these items, even extra bowls from the kitchen, they'd love to get. So we've got all of that. And so our broken and unnecessary cleaning supplies, if you have carpet cleaner, but now you have hardwood floors, you might not need the carpet cleaner. But the broken dustpan and things like that, it's also time to maybe reevaluate. So broken and unnecessary cleaning supplies and not so useful organizing solutions, because a big pile of hangers that you're not going to use or tubs for storing things away that don't have lids or they're cracked, they're just contributing to the clutter. So that is the next one on our list. So don't forget to rotate. And this is maybe something that you're not as familiar with when we think about rotating in other areas of your home besides spring clothing or seasonal clothing or your clothes closet. So we've all maybe done this with our clothes, our dresser drawers, where at the end of one season, as the temperatures are changing and the weather's going to be a little different, possibly depends on where you're tuning in from. But for me, like in the New Jersey area, we're just starting to get those like mid 70 days, still chilly at night. So I need a variety of layers. But very soon, the very heavy winter things can all go away. The winter boots, now that we're pretty sure it's not going to snow anymore, that can get put away. And I'll bring out the flip-flops and the, maybe little sandals and things. So that's a rotation of things in your home that you may be pretty familiar with. We've maybe done that. And even if you don't like put some things away, you just maybe have moved them to a less convenient spot, back of the closet, side of the closet, a different dresser drawer. But there are so many other places where we can rotate, I should say, throughout our home and apartment, townhome, condo, whatever space you're currently living in. And it could look like things that are on my list, but you probably have other things on your list as well. Think about the kitchen. Maybe you did more of like crock pot cooking or big, platters for winter dinners and holidays, maybe over the winter. And maybe now it's a big salad bowl or the types of dishes that go out. Those dishes might go right out onto the patio because they're not breakable, but we didn't need that in the middle of the winter. And so this could be a lovely option for doing a little rotation. Maybe you do more grilling this time of year. So we'll bring out the grilling stuff. We'll put back, maybe the items that we aren't using. So less frequently used needs to be less convenient. The more you use it, the more convenient I would hope it would be for you. And so if you maybe have trouble parting with things, we're not parting with anything. So the good news is you don't have to make any decisions here. We're simply doing a rotation. So as we look at this, oh, I love that Carol crochets for the local animal shelter. That's amazing. Closets, right? This one's the one we're probably most familiar with. But what about the living room? Do you want to swap out wall art? Maybe you have some wall art in a storage area of your home and you never really put it up. Maybe take one down, put one up. Maybe you swap out photos or throw pillows, a different weight, a different design, a different color. In the dining room, plates and serving platters, and maybe even decor, maybe table linens or candlesticks if you use them. Maybe in the bathroom. Do you use a different color nail polish if you paint your nails? Do you use a different scent when it comes to like a cologne or an aftershave? Do you use a different smelling maybe body wash because you like maybe a lemon in the summer, but more of like a warm cookie scent in the winter? And so think about what we have, using up what's not going to stay until the next season, and then rotating it. So what you need is easily accessible. We might often forget this step when it comes to this idea of putting things away we're not going to use for a little while in different areas. Now, if you've read my newest book, Keep This, Toss That, then you know the answer to this next question. And if you'd like to answer it in the chat, let's see if anyone here knows what I believe CUTE is an acronym for. So think of the word cute, C-U-T-E, and then if you think of it as an acronym, what does the C, what does the U, what does the T, what does the E stand for? So I'll pause for a moment to see if anyone wants to chime in and see if you're right when we guess. CUTE, what does it stand for? I think of it as an acronym. Oh my gosh, you all know I love it. Here it comes. Oh, this is great. So Calan and Barbara, Malika, you're absolutely right. Spot on, Teresa. Cannot use this ever. And thank you. You've got it. Can't use this ever. So the idea is that and Joe got it too. Oh my gosh, everyone, you're so on point today. Thank you. So you might not forget this one now if it's the first time you heard it. Cute. And think of it when you go, oh my gosh, that's so cute. Stuffed animals, novelty items, door wreaths. I mean, all the cute things in our lives. And then you go, oh, you know what? It's not particularly practical. Can't use this ever. Now, my rock collection has some really cute rocks. And just because they're cute doesn't mean I'm giving them up. So the difference here is, and for those of us that may, sort of struggle, yep, Joe got it too. I love it. We may struggle with the, parting of things. And so that's certainly something we talk about in every one of our sessions together, and just sort of continuing to come back and be amongst other friends that we're, staying in touch with on a monthly basis to go, you know what, I'm on the same page. But I'm going to try, and I'm going to figure out what to keep and what to toss, which is what the book is all about and can maybe be helpful as well. So cute. If you love it, if it makes you smile, if it brings you back to a person, place, if it connects you to something important in your life, if you have room for it, if you want to clean it and maintain it, then I want you to have it. Display it, put it out, enjoy it. It's yours, right? Those are the special things. But for the like random stuff that you may have gotten, maybe you picked it up on a whim, it was free, it was a gift, it doesn't have as much meaning as something else. Cute, it's awfully cute, but sometimes they're just dust collectors. And so of course you could put them in a box and rotate them. So we bring out some cute things, then we bring out some and put some away. So we are always looking to shop at home where we bring out something new so it's new to us again. Or maybe we go, yep, you know what? Don't even want to store it. I'm just going to give it to someone else who hopefully they will also think that it is super cute. So that's that one. Well, when we look at getting, going and overcoming procrastination, and everything sort of lines up. We have time, and we have energy, and we have some interest, and we have mental bandwidth to make decisions. And then we're like, okay, let's just go. And now maybe we're going to start a clock or a stopwatch, or we're going to play a song and dance to the beat while we're, moving around, or just kind of groove as we're working. Fantastic. And oftentimes something on a surface catches our eye as the place to begin. It might be a tabletop or a countertop. It could be a sofa, a chair, Hopefully not the floor, because the rule is nothing on the floor, such a trip hazard. And we've had some of our friends from our declutter clubs share experiences they've had of tripping over something and then having an injury. So nothing on the floor is a really good, nothing on the stairs, nothing on the floor is a really good rule. But there are so many other surfaces, dresser tops and bookcase tops and vanity tops. And I mean, there's just so many flat surfaces, and they do tend to just collect stuff. And so if that's the case, we're like, okay, I'm ready to go. Let's do something. And then a surface area catches our attention. Well, it can be an okay place to start, but let me tell you why it's not my favorite place. And I mean, we'll call it a mistake. I don't know that you can really have a mistake, because of course, getting started in any area is always a good start. But if we're trying to have lasting success in overcoming procrastination around decluttering, I don't think a surface is our best place to begin. I would rather you focus in on storage first. Start with storage. And there's just one really good reason. If there's stuff sitting out, there's a high probability that either the place it needs to go hasn't been identified yet, so we're not sure where we're going to put it, or the storage space is overstuffed. So, for example, laundry's folded, ready to get put away. Can't really put it away because the dresser drawers are a little overflowing. So if we start with the stuff in the laundry basket, it's sort of very frustrating a lot of times, because there's nothing much we can do with it. And then we might get down on ourselves about, why haven't I put the laundry away yet? Well, because the dresser drawer is full, it's hard to open and close. So if we start in storage, we'll create a little room so we can put some things away. So it's a bit of a balance. Start in the storage, put some stuff away. Do more in the storage, put some more things away. If you only work on storage, then nothing you see changes, and that's equally frustrating. But time and time again, and I've done it myself, I try to start with the stuff I see, and then I just walk around, put it back down, because there was really no answer. So my invitation is always to start with storage. So if we're trying to overcome the procrastination, this is a great way to begin. And we've got our timer going, and I'm going to give you a few more ideas in just a moment. If you're wondering how to kind of join the Declutter Club, good news, you're already in it. We just meet every the first Thursday of every month, and you join by logging in with us. And I'll tell you about the upcoming sessions, and you can find the link to register at the library's website, and I will put that in the chat for you. So we just talked about starting in storage, and I'm wondering if you're seeing something, if something caught your eye that needs to get put away, and it would be easier to put it away if you could reorganize the storage, take something out of the storage, donate something from the storage, discard something from the storage, like, something that's expired in the pantry if you're looking at ingredients. So if you'd like to join us for one more 3-minute tidy up, please do. We'll put 3 minutes on the timer should you like to join us. And I hope that you would. Now, if it's your first time in the last session, you'll get a sense of how it goes. And of course, I'll play that jazzy little music too. So I love it. Great questions coming in about a variety of topics. Each of our sessions is a specific topic. So one of our Declutter Club months will be just on paperwork, because as you can imagine, we need a whole hour on that. But we do invite you to, maybe think about the book. There's a whole paperwork chapter available to check out from the library. So I hope that helps. I wish we could do everything every time, but then we'd be here all night long. So we're going to begin a timer with 3 minutes on the mark. We'll set a little jazzy music to get us going. And if you're ready, we'll begin with 3 minutes. So think about what would help in terms of getting started. Where would you like to begin? Is there a storage spot that needs your attention? And let's go. Timer's ticking. Counting it down. And congratulations. Thank you so much for joining us for that moment. Let us know in the chat, how did it go? Did you find success? Did you take a peek in storage? Did you scare yourself taking a look in storage about everything we have to do? So hopefully we can get you motivated and overcome that procrastination. And let's pop in chat and check in. All right, let us know. Successes, wins, it's always fun. And we have a few more slides. We will have an opportunity to jot something down. So if you have a pen and paper handy, you might find it useful to be able to write something down. But if you can't, jot it down or work on your computer, no worries. I think you can just think it through and you don't have to. More emails gone, so we always love to hear that one as well. Yay! Oh my gosh, everyone is busy. All right. So let's take a look at a few more strategies to overcome procrastination. And if you're wondering, the one that works almost all the time. So if you read the little blurb about joining our program and you thought, what's the one thing that works almost all the time? The answer is a deadline, a deadline. And you probably know this is true. Oh, Carol found more storage space. We love to hear about that. So congratulations. Deadlines tend to work most of the time. And that's because there is some sort of external deadline. It's not just you said you're going to do it and then you can sort of not do it and no one really knows, which doesn't usually end that well. But when someone else knows it's happening, someone else is involved, we tend to follow through. There is a variety of deadlines that you can try. There's deadlines that might work better than others. So it's all of these different deadlines. One could look like you've scheduled an organization to come and pick up a bag of donations. You have a deadline. You must make at least one bag because you've already invited them to come. And so you wouldn't want them to come for nothing. And so because someone else is depending on you, we will tend to follow through. So deadline tends to work really well. Scheduling an organization to pick up. Let's say you were thinking about moving and it's been on your mind, you've been considering it, but you're not really sure. Well, if you had a real estate professional scheduled to come and do a walkthrough with you of your home to see if maybe that's someone you would choose to work with, even if it's months or years from now, they can give you some guidance as to like what to do and depersonalize and what to declutter and what little maybe upgrades or facelifts they might recommend. And so now we have a deadline for someone coming over, which means you might feel more inspired to tidy up a few things before they came. A deadline might look like, oh my gosh, Julie said the one I was going to say, upcoming house guest, the most motivating one of all. Absolutely right. And that's because when company's coming, I get most of my cleaning done 20 minutes before they're due to arrive. So it's a wonderful way of planning ahead. So that is a carpet, adding carpeting or carpet cleaning or any sort of like repair. If you need to get a new appliance, you've got to clear like a huge pathway. And so because we're clearing it out anyway, if you're having someone clean, Esther says, that's a good one. Or you want to have a closet organizer installed, everything has to come out of the closet. So there's so many different ways to ensure you can put a deadline in place that you stick to. And you might say, well, I put on my calendar that I'm going to have a yard sale. So I'm planning on getting organized for a yard sale. Again, if no one knows you're having it and you don't do it, there's no challenge, right? But if you say to a neighbor, let's do this together, we've got that accountability partner. And so you've got help, but also we have a deadline because someone else knows. Guest room closet is cleared because Suzanne invited a house guest. One of the best ways, right? Deadlines work for a reason. So there's so many deadlines in our life for like running our life, paying bills, because otherwise would we? I don't know if I didn't have to, but when they say you have to, there you go. So deadline is one of the best ways to ensure we get things done. So here's just a very short list of resources for planning a pickup from an organization. And these are, again, just a handful. Most of them work in just about every state. I know we have friends tuning in from lots of different places. And so I hope that they will work for you. If you need more, good news. I have a very complete list of about 150 resources. And in fact, Joe might pop it up on the screen into the chat for us. He's so good at that. But on my website, jamienovak.com, there's a piece of notebook paper, a little picture of notebook paper. And when you click it, it's about 150 resources and appraising and selling and donating and all the stuff. And so that would probably be really helpful. So if you're interested in that, M is asking about a website if you already have ingredients on hand, and Recipe Land is the one that I use, Recipe Land. If I want to make something from the ingredients I have on hand. So Recipe Land. So here's just a short list. And of course, if we schedule a pickup, oh, Joe, I knew you'd come through for me. Thank you. There it is. So right in the chat, you'll see jamienovak.com, where to donate clutter. And there's a whole long list. So you can jot these down. There's others, and you may have local resources that you like to contribute to, keep things in the community, keep that running list. So, and if you have an ongoing scheduled pickup, we're always making a bag of things to go. So it's a constant flow of new things in, old things out, new things in, old things out. And if we employ the mantra you'll hear every month we get together, which is shop at home first, shop at home first. So before we buy anything new, do we already own it? Do we own something similar? Or the other one, which is don't put it down, put it away, which comes from my mom. Don't put it down, put it away. So, just finish the project at hand. Don't just put it down, put it away. And then there's just less stuff left over waiting for your attention. It looks like Suzanne has a scheduled organization role coming her way. Fantastic. Let's talk about wrapping a habit. This is another way of overcoming procrastination. And that is the idea of you already have some habits happening in your life already. They're just part of your routine. It might be something like laundry, or you may have some other routine like watching a particular television show. Maybe it's a daily or weekly television show. So the way you could wrap the habit is by saying, when I put a load of laundry in, I also, and then fill in the blank. So when I put a load of laundry in, I delete 10 emails. So whether you're doing laundry at home, in a laundry room in a building, in a laundromat, you'd have your phone with you probably. And so if you said something like, fold clothes and clean your closet, you might not be home for that. So something that allows you to work on the go if you're on the go for laundry. When I do laundry, when I put in a load of laundry, I delete 10 emails. 10 minutes before I watch my favorite show, 30 minutes before I watch my favorite show, the first commercial break from my television show, the 30 minutes after I finish my favorite television show. Usually before works better because then the show is sort of a reward. After, it's like, maybe I'll just do it tomorrow, at least sometimes for me. So wrapping a habit can be a great way of, when I do this, I also do that. When I do this, I also do that. And so wrapping the two habits together. And these are two strategies for overcoming procrastination. One might sort of attract you more than another. One is eat your peas, and one is piece of cake. And so the idea of eat your peas is, if you don't particularly care for peas as a vegetable, or there's some other vegetable that you could substitute in here. So eat your Brussels sprouts or eat your beets, whatever that is for you. And so you would say, well, if you have a to-do list, right? So think of your to-do list as a plate of food. And on the plate of food, there's peas. So everything else on the plate, everything else on your to-do list looks mildly appealing, if not fun to do, but you just keep looking at the peas. Well, if you eat the peas first, if you do the worst, most unattractive task first, so do the worst thing off your to-do list first, then everything else is just more palatable. So eat your peas, do the ickiest thing first. Piece of cake is sort of the opposite of that, which is we just do the easiest, most attractive, yummiest task first. It's usually one of the smallest, and just get it done, which then builds the momentum, because now if you've done one little thing, you're like, if I did that, let me just do the next thing, and let me just do the next thing. And all of a sudden you're off and ticking stuff off your to-do list. So eat your peas, worst, least attractive task first, and then everything else is easier. Everything else is then a piece of cake, or piece of cake, easiest, most attractive one first to get it going. So I tend to be an eat the peas kind of person. I'll just do the worst thing first, and then everything else I can manage. And my sisters, I have three sisters, but one of them is definitely a piece of cake first. She's like, let me just do the easiest thing just to get the momentum started. So eat your peas or piece of cake. So this is the next one on the list if you'd like to consider it. Whether you're a gardener or not, somehow we can end up with clear florist vases for displaying flowers, fresh flowers, maybe even dried flowers or, sort of faux flower displays that cannot be cleaned any longer. They've just had their moment. Rusty trowels and gardening gloves with holes in them, things that are cracked, watering cans that don't work or they leak, growing guides and seed packets and planters. So if you're a gardener, you probably have a lot more of this stuff. Even if you're not a gardener, you still may have this stuff, and it may be surprising to learn. But even things like potting soil expire. They typically have a year expiration date. There's many reasons for that, but keeping pests away is mostly the biggest one. So if you need a next task on your list, gardening or indoor plant things, including florist vases, which can be donated or sometimes brought back to the florist, or pop fresh flowers in them, give them to a neighbor or, the local crossing guard, and then just say, oh, no, I don't need the vase back. It's yours. It comes with the flowers. And then, then it's for them to store. So you can get some storage space back from maybe under the kitchen sink if that's where you put stuff. So that might be one you want to add to your list. And I've just come up with maybe the 7 top reasons why we might procrastinate. I don't know if any of these speak to you, but we anticipate the task will be difficult. And we are basically wired to avoid pain, and a difficult task could feel painful. We don't want to do it, which there's not as many solutions for that one. Unless you can hire it out or delegate it, sometimes you just have to do it. We need more information. When you don't know what to do, how can you do anything at all? So we need to know the next step. We fear it won't be perfect. You would clear out the closet or organize the pantry, but you envision it looking just like those makeover shows. And if you can't get it to look like that, then why even bother? The whole task is simply too big. So if you tend to be an all or nothing kind of person, like if I can't do the whole project, why even get started? And so when we can't do the whole thing, we tend to do nothing at all. We overestimate the time the task will take. And I think we've proven that one to maybe be wrong for some of this, because we practiced 3 minutes and I think we saw all of what we could accomplish, which was really pretty cool. And then, of course, the last one is a little bit of a deeper reason, which is you just don't really believe that you're worth the effort. And maybe you might do things for friends, family, neighbors. Anyone asks you anything and you're like, yeah, sure, I can do it. I'll help. And then it's like, oh my gosh, but I don't even kind of do that for myself. So let's put ourselves first.